Hello, hello, Rhoda here. Welcome to my craft room. Today we're going to look through, have a flip through of the Lepidopterist in Nature Journal. That's what I ended up calling it, as you can see. And I do have a little project that we're going to work on beforehand because there was one thing I wanted to do for this and I never got around to doing it. So I thought we could do that and then we could put it into the areas that look like it would be appropriate. So I have the specimen CMS 410 stamp pad here. I have the Tracy Fox Creative 7th YouTube birthday. She had these beautiful looking tags here. Now I use some of these in my industrial journal, but as you can see, the words spread your wings, flutter, fly by are perfect for this butterfly moth kind of a journal. And what these reminded me of are jars. You know how you'll have like a jar die that some people will have, or they'll do a digital and they'll create these jars. Well, I want bug jars. And I thought this looked like that blue mason jar kind of tone. Now the red is okay. That can that's okay. So we're going to get in here and we're going to stamp, like especially the butterfly and the two different butterflies and maybe the moth or locust, whatever he is, in these three here. And then we're going to make them look like a jar. So if you have a tag shape that you're starting out with, we're going to get to work on that, and I'll show you exactly how to create a jar out of these. All right. I want to thank everybody for coming by to visit and spending a little time with me today. Well, I'm going to stop my video, and I'm going to cut these out real quick, and then I'm going to come back. I have a couple of scraps of black over here that we're going to use for the top, so that's the only other thing I'm going to add to this. Okay, I pulled out a few different things here. I do want to go ahead and take and softly round. This is the 7mm round. And see, it's like a gentle curve, just like the edge of a jar would be. So we're going to go ahead and cut all of those off of our tags. And this is just like a normal type of a way to do a tag. So far, we haven't really done anything different. Now I'm taking my scorched timber and I've gone around the outside of each one of the large ones here. And just to give it like a framed look. You know how I am. I love the framed look. So it's just to delineate the edge, basically. So there we go. That's all we needed there. Get that out of the way. And we don't need the rounder anymore. I don't think I need a rounder. I might pull it back out. I may use it for the top. So let's go ahead. Now I have a white Jelly Roll pen. Now that's what I used on the wording on the front. I had cut all of these words out in like a piece of black. That was like the black I'm going to use next. And I had put some, whatever that spray is, the mica spray on it. So it's got like a sheen to it. But they weren't standing out very deeply. So I had to use the white out, or the Jelly Roll pen around that. So that really helped. All right. The next part we're going to do here is to actually do our lids. So I have a nice long one here. I'll probably use this for the two black ones. And I just have to find the middle, cut that in half, and then figure out where I want to go from there. See, I'm going to put it on there just about like that. It doesn't have to be the total width of your tag. It's actually better if it was indented in a bit. So I'm going to mark it off right there. And I'm going to make two of those. And then I have like a wider one here of black for this one. And I'm going to mark that. And we're going to do the same thing. That one might need to go out just a little bit more. There we go. All right, I'll be right back. Okay, these ended up being like 3 1/16, and this one, I don't know, I didn't measure that one. But we're going to take the real small one here, which is 4 mm, and we're just going to do the top. See, like that? And it looks exactly like the top of a mason jar, where it kind of just gently rounds around. The bottom doesn't have to be rounded, because usually I think that's got a flat look to it, to tell you the truth. All right, let's clean up our board here. And we're going to go ahead and glue these down. They can go ahead and get on here. And then I'm going to just kind of put the glue right here to help measure. Then we'll set this on here and try to get even on each side is all you need to do. And, you know, it can be up to you how far down you go, how high you go. I want to do it like this so I can, yeah, I'm definitely crooked. Very crooked. There we are. So that one's ready to go. Oh, I need to come up with a saying. Now I have I'll probably do flyby. I like that one. So that'll go on the top of this jar. See if I can get it in the middle here. And it being black on black, that really helps a lot. Yep, I like that. Do the next one. A little glue there. Put our lid on this one. Okay, let me come down a little bit. You can kind of almost feel where exactly it needs to be. And I'm getting it crooked each time, it seems like. There we go. Well, it's still not quite there, is it? There, that's better. All right. I like to spread your wings. And because that has to do with butterflies. Try to center it. There we go. And then I think flutter maybe for the next one. The Be Free and Rise Above, I can use that on something else. All right, I'm going to actually go ahead and prop this one to where I can measure it. Okay, about right there. Make sure I'm straight. And then grab my flutter. Now, wasn't that an easy jar? Now, you can get more detailed if you want. You can, I pulled out the white jelly print pen here because, and I got a little bit of glue on the back sides, but you don't have to do anything to the back of these. You could just let them be. They're going to be for writing anyhow. I do want to get the glue off the table, though. All right, so now, if you wanted, if you really, really wanted, you could go ahead with the Jelly Roll pen. And if you ever look at glass or anything, you'll see that it's got like a, since the width of the glass, you can kind of almost see in there sometimes and see a little bit of a shine on the edges like that. Now you could do that. You could come down here at the bottom and do something rounded on the corner. You know, anything along those lines. But it doesn't have to be much. You also usually have a shine up here where this, like you might want to do something like a squiggle line right there. You can't really see it because it's white. So it's almost unnecessary. But where that slopes down, you could give the impression of the slope. Yeah. So something kind of like that. It's not very visible, but you do kind of notice it. Like, look at this one and that one. If I can get them in my hands. Can you notice the difference? That little bit kind of adds to the impression that there is a lip or a width to the glass. That's kind of like a an optical illusion with your eyes. There we go. Now you can also put a little bit of a white sheen up there if you can see it. Now you can't against that. These pens sometimes work and they sometimes don't. So, all right, now we're going to get to doing our butterflies. All right, so I've got one of them already on here. This one has spread your wings, so let's go ahead and spread our wings and get our butterfly. She's collected her butterflies. I said I was going to come up with a story for this, didn't I? I never did. I'll try to tell a little bit of a story as I'm going through if my mind will work. All right, so I'm going to put her big butterfly right there and press down. There we go. Oh, that looks good, just like a butterfly caught in a jar. All right, next is, I guess this is a monarch. He kind of reminds me of a monarch. So he's next. And of course I'm using my VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink. So we're going to face him the other direction. There we go. He looks good. And then we have the locust. He used to go in the little skinny one here. That one has the most blue on it. I love those blue mason jars. I know they're collector's items. And I think there's other colors. I think we used to have a purple one or something in Walmart. A lavender. It was beautiful. Maybe that was a darker blue I'm thinking of. I don't know. There was another color I do remember. Yep, he looks good. Now, the only thing I wondered about doing is there's a phrase, collector of specimens, that I thought maybe I could put on here. Just because that's kind of what she's doing. So let's do that. Right here. Kind of, yeah. Ugh, I think I smeared it a little bit. I did, but it's not very visible. I pulled over after I'd already landed. So don't land until you're ready to say that's where it's going. That's the one thing I could tell you. Okay, there we go. That one was much, much better. Okay, so let me get this back on my pad over here. Get this out of the way. Get all of our project out of the way. And we're going to start flipping through and seeing what we got. And I have these off to the side. And when we see a spot that we think they'll go in really good, we're going to add them in. And this baby is big. I don't know if I need to zoom out. See if I need to zoom out. Can you? Yeah, I think you can see. Can't see all of it. This is a big book, everybody. A big book. Okay, so like I spoke, I was taking this drop sheet that I had been using on and off through the last month or two's projects. You know, it's got the Condemned on here, the Casket Company. I did try to put a few stamps, like field stamps and collector stamps on here, but I had treated this with, I don't know, with a lot of mica sprays and with some glue. I glued a lot of things with it. So it kind of treated the thing where the ink wasn't going in. So I had to smear it off. Well, it looked smeared. So I put some of that black distress paint on it and just kind of smeared it around so it looked kind of buffed out. But I really loved the craft color to the back of this. And of course I put this on here to be a net, like she was catching butterflies. This thing is still bowing out, though I'm not going to put like any kind of a closure on it. I want it to be just like this. And then here's Our Lady. She's on the front. I took a little bit of foundry wax, I believe it was, and I rubbed it on there. And then I went and rubbed it on again, and when I did, it kind of took this foil off, which was fine. It gave me the impression that there's a sheen there. I put a little here and a little there. So that's all taken care of. And so we're going to start flipping through. Here we go. Now here is the first page. Now as you can see, I've got my dangles in here. I've got 2 acorns and 2 bears. That was the only kind of nature kind of dangles that I had. So I put one of the acorns here, which helps to pull this up. Isn't it pretty? It's got like a little two-tone gold on there. But this pulls up. You were able to write in here, maybe this is your book or whatever you thought might need to go here. And then we have Our Lady's picture down here, the demented lady. And her, we did this, of course, on a video. And then I made these 2 big side pockets just in case there was paper or something that could go in there. And this thing is 3 inches on the spine and just a little bit less on the inside, maybe 2 3/4 or something like that. I left about 1/4 of an inch on each side, and I took and put more craft paper inside here to cover this before I put my papers down. And I really, really love the look of it. It looks like an old notebook that she might have took out in the field. So here's where it starts with the first signature. I took a brown background for my hidden signature and put that down. It goes really good with the frame of this little guy. He can open up and be written on right here. And this is the only thing that always kind of threw me off. I love the gold leaf, but the blue kind of, that's the only deterrent of that. But yeah, I went with it. There is some blue in here. So over here we have our first page has one of the deep pockets. I did a little bit of the rub-ons right there. Now I did, this I think was from one of Tracy Fox's birthdays or something as well. It had blue butterflies and blue birds. Now this, I don't know when I made this tag, but I made it a while back. And it has this in it with flowers and things. And it did have a lot of items that had to do with out in the field and researching and stuff like that. So the Lepidopterist is somebody that studies butterflies and moths. So you'll see a whole lot of those in here, but she had to go out in nature to find them. So that's where the nature part came in. And so I made these slits. This is 2 kind of cardstock weighted 12 by 12s. And this is a very deep journal and a very tall journal. So I said it was 3 inches at the spine, and it's 11.5 tall. I believe it's 6 wide. I think it's 6 wide. 6 1/4. It's a honker. All right, so this little piece here is an actual pocket as well. And if you reach down in here, it's a tiny little journal card that fits in there and goes down in it. I wanted to be able to see the flowers and the lace and all that kind of stuff there. And then you come over here, and I used the yellow pages of a phone book to kind of do a layering area here. I really liked how it turned out. I did some of the fussy cuts on here. Some of this is Artie Mae's. There's like the little round guy up here. That's Artie Mae's. And this little piece here, the rectangle, is Artie Mae's. Some of it's a Stamperia pad. Some of it, yeah, all of that was from the the fussy cuts of the Stamperia pad. And I think that was Woodland. I think that was what it was called. But you could write on that. That's a little squirrel. He's kind of in the tree here. And then you turn it over. There's a bit of a tree outline and some more, I don't know what you'd call it, the rub-ons. I did have some quotes. I have this that was from the front cover, so I went ahead and utilized it. And it's in a piece of vellum. And if you look behind, I'd showed before where this was a tag off of my husband's hat or clothing or something with his hunting. And it's real tree, new edge, and it has antlers on it. I said, I gotta put that behind there. I did some die cuts as well. And then this just kind of flips over this way. This could be written on. And I just wanted a little bit of decoration here on this wrinkle paper. And then this could be written on as well. But I did do some grungian up on it. And then I really like this page with the pine here. And then this green and kind of maroon paper here. This was a pocket that I made a while back. There was some kind of deal where you took a 8x8 and you made a triangle pocket, a rectangle pocket, a little a cluster, and a few other things out of it. I may be doing that soon again. That was kind of fun to do. Now this came from the front cover as well, as you can see. I just didn't worry with covering the back of him. And I used some of that wallpaper tape here. I did colorize it so it was more brown, and that it would go with the actual kit. Now here you can see more of the maroon. I love this paper. It's rug gripper. I did it out on the patio, and I used rug gripper in between the pieces of paper. And then I don't know what I used to colorize it, but I really love how it turned out. It's almost like a brown. It goes really good with the pine cones. And here is where I had talked about putting a belly band in, and I did, but I just didn't put anything in it. So I wonder if one of these would be good for here, which I don't see why not. So yeah, I have a die cut of the bird and this little guy that I'd made a while back. I love the background paper though. Here is what's on this side, and you had deer and ferns and that kind of thing. So I decided to make another belly band out of this really fun paper pad that I had gotten. It was like all these different ones. This one had some glitter and some greenery vines coming up, and I thought, oh, that's perfect. I did some rub-ons on it, and then I made this little guy here for the center. And then this was from Wildflowers, Woodland Silver on Etsy. She has this wildflower kit that I had got, and I loved it. And I'm going to put one of my faux stamps on it. And I decided to put that in here for something to be written on, to journal on. I'm always trying to put something to journal with. I don't want it to be just a look-see kind of a journal, you know. Now this was from a magazine, Mom's Birds and Blooms magazine she gave me. And I used the back of a card. And I just put the butterflies on there to tuck up in here. They also have one of these. This has little brads on it, so it's got some detail. This is pink, but I said, you know, I need something bright every so often. So that's what this page is. It's just bright and happy. And over here, we have another one of those deep pockets where it's cut into the two pieces that were glued together. Here is that wherever you go, there you are. This is the tiles that someone had given me, and I used them. I think it was Jody. No, maybe it was Victoria. I think it was Victoria. Okay, and I got a moth on the top, so it goes with our theme. These two can open up, can be written on. And then I have a vellum pocket down here. I just kind of stuck that into. And what is that? Wood? Different woods or something? Something to do with camping. That's what it is. Now I have my little invisible kind of Velcro dots on there. And here's that beautiful fox. She used this for her cover, and she had cut around him where he was a tuck. I kept thinking I wanted to do it exactly like her. Now this piece here was a baby shower. It was from a baby shower card that I got. So I went ahead and put the bear in there like that. And then I had this from Wonders by Wink on Etsy. And this was, oh gosh, she had a wildlife kind of kit as well. But they were mostly from Colorado, I believe. This was just a cut off from some of that wildflower paper. This one is 2 notebook pages that I kind of catty-cornered in here. And when I did, I said, well, you know, it actually makes a pocket. So I came out this way with the glue and came out this way with the glue, and it made me a pocket. So I was able to put this beautiful little card inside. That was from an older Stamperia pad. But yeah, I just cut a thumb notch there, and I fit this little guy right down in there like that, and I love it. This was more die cuts and birds. And I just, you know, I really enjoyed making this. My little Lepidopterist lady, she could go all over. Now, some of these little corners, I've kind of rolled back. I don't know if you can see that. I kind of rolled them back and left them that way, and the top is the same way. Just so there was some interest. And here is an uptuck. And I tried to choose things that look like they may go in the book. Over here, this was from a celestial kind of, I forget which one that was, but it had more celestial things in it. But I said, you know, that could go. This is from a card as well. And I just put a paper clip on it to hold it in there. Could be written on the back. This was some note paper that I had that has quotes on it. So there's a quote over here. There are few of us who cannot remember our front yard garden, which seemed to us a very paradise in childhood. What is the name? Sarah Oris Jewett. And then I made a tag, or a pocket, a shallow pocket, with this from another paper pad I killed a while back. This here is, I don't know what these were. They're almost like a little slide. But I got them ages and ages ago. So what I did is I kind of decorated with little leaves and lace and ribbons and stuff in here. And then I put a piece of cellophane, acetate, whatever, on the back side. And I just kind of tucked it down in there. This was from, I think, Tommy. Had a plant on it, but anything that has a little writing on it always adds interest. Now over here, this was a stamp off sheet that I had. I was doing these pockets, and I decided to put a couple pieces of washi on here. That's that honeycomb, and then I put one of those big moths. This paper was made by Wonders by Wink on Etsy. She made us some and sent it to us in Happy Mail one year. I have a tree here, die cut. She also sent me this, which is almost looks like Edith Holden in a way, but they were postcards. Blue Tits, Cold Tit, and Great Tit. Oh yeah, the Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, Edith Holden. So she had something where she got postcards with this lady's work on it. And this was from that wildflower from Woodland Silver. More die cuts and that blue butterfly. And I just think I would just flip through here and kind of pull things out. That there is a guest check. Forget where I got it. I asked the girl if I could have a couple. Oh, I was in West Virginia. We eat at this one place, the Tug, Fork, and Spoon. Well, the Tug Fork is the river right beside them, so that was a cool name. But these were 2 pieces. This was from the front cover, and this was a tag. And I somehow put them together, and I hid the line with the ivy there, and I thought that made a cool pocket. Yeah, Tug, Fork, and Spoon. That's where you could write on the back, but that color there goes so well with this one. And this is a belly band, a horizontal belly band. This was another one of those pieces from that 8x8 I was telling you. We made a pocket, and then I made this kind of odd shaped pocket that could be written on. This was one of my bugs that I'd made with the map paper a long time ago. And this was the top of a file folder, one of the hanging file folders. And it had those slits in it every so often. So I put a piece of paper trim off that was from my Stamperia pad through there like a ribbon. And I really like how that looked. Here's a boar, and he's kind of leaping through the forest. And over here it says, nothing is more beautiful than the loveliness of woods before sunrise. George Washington Carver. And I made a little cutout of a sun where it was coming up beyond that tree line there. I love this, the crackle wood. Over here, I have another one of those deep pockets. I did some stamping on the back here with some white. Or no, that was Lost Shadow. So I had something to look at back there, as you can see. I have a tag here with a deer on it. And then I have this that I'd made a while back that was made out of newsprint or book page, as you can see. I did some spraying. I did a fold up. I did a cutout here, put acetate in it so you can see the bugs, but you can also tuck something in to see behind the bugs. So that was kind of cool. That could be written on the back of. This could as well if you wanted to. And I just really like how that turned out. I may have to try a few more of them again sometime soon. And I got another of my triangle pockets here. And then this pocket, oop, I loved how this turned out. This was a file folder. And I have a video on them as well. Maybe that's what I actually link at the end. I always link a video at the end, so I may try to do this one. But yeah, these were file folders. And I made a cluster down here with a little bit of stamping. And then I did this butterfly and did clear embossing powder on him so it was shiny. And he actually is on this card back here, which has a cluster as well. So this could be written on all over the place. And then I did a bunch of inking. It has the tea dye ink. It has vintage photo. And it may have a little bit of ground espresso as well. I really love how that turned out. And then I've got a washi stamp up here with a butterfly on it, and then a washi strip with butterflies. I really went all out on this book. I love finding things and creating things for it. Now here was my 2 silverware pockets, and I was having a little bit of a think about how to make it. Let's see, am I going the right way? Sometimes you never know if you're going in the right way. This is the top one. Okay. So this one can stay on there actually. So this winds down around here, and it goes under this dot in the middle to keep these flat. Otherwise, these would flip out a little bit. Actually, they don't. but anyhow, I have a tag inside, and both of them are exactly the same. So I've got black embossing powder on there. And that's something that can be written on. The reason it has that ribbon up there is so you can tuck it all the way down in there, and that will bend for you. And that helps it work. Now this winds around here, back around this center, and up to the top. Whoops. This is the other side of that pink butterfly paper. So I thought that would be the best place for this. And that's that Wildflower by Woodland Silver again. This I kind of buffed with some vintage photo or ground espresso or something. It needed to be toned down. That yellow was weird. So I'm a little happier with it the way it is. Here's a really pretty page with the oak leaves and acorns. And this over here was another kind of a combination. It was a tag with a strip that came out of Braille paper, and you'll see the other end of it back here soon, and another guest check. This one has a dragonfly stamp on it, and I did a little bit of grunging up. And on the back I have leaf mold, leaf roller, leaf rust. It was a page with leaves and like a dictionary page, so I used that on the back side. And if you look here again, you'll see where I did another threading through here of the little strip of paper. And I had a friend, one of Roger's cousins, gave me this, and I thought the colors went really well together. And that rug, not rug gripper, that drywall tape that I was telling you about earlier, some of it was really wet still, so I was like putting it on some of my papers, and it was giving this cool effect. So that's where that kind of effect came from. Here's more of the crinkle paper. I made a pocket here with some more Edith Holden cards, and I love this one with the purple thistle. That's one of my favorites. Little fox stamp and a bird. And then I've got down here specimen, a sample, a representative of a particular thing. I had a few pieces that I could find out of my dictionary that had to do with this kind of thing. So here was a tag that I made a while back, a journal card, I mean. It's got a lot of blues to it, so it went pretty good with these blue elements here. And that's what you have to do. You have to figure out the best place to put all of these different things. Now, this has a little card in it here with a bug on it. He's blue as well. And this is just a tag that I glued down 3-sided. Over here, I cut this off. And I'm probably going to keep this book myself. I'm really thinking about it. So this was the top of a paper pad that I had from way back when. It has the beautiful, beautiful papers in it. And I really wanted to remember it. So I wanted to cut that out. That could be written on. It had all this really pretty floral and old-timey postcard, you know, that kind of stuff. And I thought that would be perfect in here. And then down here, I have a vellum pocket with that butterfly on it. This, I think, was something that was of Roxy's weekly challenge. I can't quite remember. But behind here is the stamp of a postcard that I've got. And I just did it like that. And that had a butterfly on it and a postcard. And I put a little birdie on the outside. See if we can get that back down in there. Yeah. All right. And there's the end of the first. This is going to be a while. So here we go. We have the beginning of this one. I put some rub on here. I love this green. That just makes me happy. I love this little inset of the green here. So I had some pieces of books that somebody had sent me. I think it was Kyung. So no, these were books I had. This one here. I had one on finches. So that's what this little guy is. And then I had somebody else give me this stuff that had the eggs and the other birds in it. And I thought that was kind of cool. Now, this is a little piece. It's like an envelope that I'd made a while back. And it's got a little wren on it with his nest. But you could put something down inside. It's gusseted. And that goes back around there. And then I made a peacock feather in like a little cellophane wrapper, kind of a window. You can still see the glue, which I have to kick myself about, but that's about the only way I could think to do it. But the greens went really well in here. So that kind of tucks right behind there. And this is a up tuck that I made. I've got a die cut here of this limb. And I've got this falcon on it. I've got rub-ons here. I've got that drywall tape, die cuts, and more. And then I've got one of those moths. And then this world is but a canvas for imagination. This here is like a little specimen card I made a while back. So I've got Monarch, beautiful to watch. And I kind of made these up on my computer. But that tucks up underneath it here. Got eagles on that side. To walk in nature is to witness 1,000 miracles. I had some stickers somebody gave me. So I put some of those in here. I've got another tree line. This is a map page here. And I ended up making a big pocket, but I didn't put anything in it. But I did make this to where it could be written on over here with mushrooms on it. Here's another horizontal belly band made with some strips, just scrap strips, and one of those little squares from the Stamperia pad. Now, everybody seemed to really enjoy these, so this was Have a Nice Day, but it's tucked up underneath of the butterfly wings. You open it up, and it has a pocket down here to tuck something in, and then it has a pocket here to tuck something in, and then you got the inside, which could be written in. There is also a pocket there. So it's full of pockets. And then when you close it, it's just like this. There we go. And that tucks down behind here. And then here is, this is my Lepidopterist butterfly drawers. So this kind of pulls out. This is a pocket up here. I forgot to put anything in it. And then these two pull down. And these have her butterflies. This is her collection of butterflies. It can be written on the back. And I thought after I made it, I said I should have moved this down a little further and then this part up a little, because this is the second drawer. But this should have been up a little further so it was inside of the boundaries of the cabinet. And yeah, I don't realize these things. This was just, I had thought about it the night before and I made it. As you can see, it kind of sticks down too far. And then I put a top on it here because this was up too far. Yeah. The struggle is real. So this was the front of a paper pad. And I just took that and made it into a pocket that has a plant on it. This was on the front of that Sweet Ambrosia paper pad. And I used those for little tags as well. So I was just trying to make everything kind of copacetic with each other. This was a fussy cut. And then this was a stamp that I had from a stamp pad I got at Hobby Lobby. Now this here, I really liked how this envelope turned out. Because I've got this in it that has some, butterflies and critters on it. And then it tucks in behind this deer. I have some die cuts. And then this piece was from the fussy cuts at the end. And I used the word forest was the name of the majority of this that you see in here from the Stamperia. And then I actually sealed that up inside, or glued it inside to where it wasn't going to come out or move. And then I did put this one little piece in here that could be written on. I got some butterfly washi in there. I've got some die cuts on the outside here and some more of that drywall tape. I've got a washi stamp. And then this little piece kind of like holds it in there, I guess you'd say. But it could be written on the back. And there's some bugs and snails. And back here I made these faux slides. That one has a ladybug. And this one just has some kind of flying critter. But I really like how those turned out too. I have a stamp with some, like with the deer over here, that same one has some bunny rabbits. Here it says, use your wings and fly. And I've got the definition for insect. This little piece just kind of flips back and forth. It could be written on if you wanted to. And here's an upper pocket. You also want to put stuff upstairs so it evens it out a little bit. This is just a collage paper that I made and just added all these little scrappy things to. And then we have, this is another, like a gardening paper pad that I got long ago from something I made Mom. And I have some little plants that I added in here as well. This is a paper, eco dye paper that Wonders by Wink on Etsy had. And I added that in here. And I've got a moth on this corner of the page. Over here I've got things about leaves and leafage, because I thought that looked like a bunch of leaves. Plus, she's got leaves that made the imprint on the Eco Dye paper here. I've got a yellow butterfly there. And I've got these two little taggy pieces over here in this pocket. Now, I made these mixed media pockets a while back, and I really like how they turned out too. I did all kinds of stuff to them. I have I had stamping on here. I had all this collage paper stuff on here, and I had what do you call that? Embossing powders on here. Took me a minute to think about it. Okay, I have more of my moths. This was it came upon a midnight clear. I thought that would be appropriate for in here. It was just a title page, and then there's some music. I have a pocket here with some hedgehogs on it, and then Sacred Geometry is on there. Okay, and then we have the fox that flips out, and he's got a little room to write on the back there. I had a little snip left over of the tree line die cut, so that's down here. I did rip on some of these papers to give everybody a little bit of a personality. So there's a little bit of difference in here. Now this page, I didn't have anything on at first, and I said, well, let me put this from the Wildflower Digital on here, and that could have something tucked in it. And then I made a easy pocket down here, but it's sort of a burgundy, purpley color, and I thought that would be the best place for this. I made these mixed media tags a while back, and they're on a index card. So I thought, well, you know, maybe that could go here. I've got the greens matching, and yeah. It is what it is, right? Another little side tuck made out of a tag. And that's another one of my little specimen cards that I made. Cabbage white. And that's just got this and a little die cut on it just for interest. I did grungy that up as well. Now this is one of my puzzle, what did I call it? My puzzle pocket? Yeah, I think that's it. This came from that Sweet Ambrosia front, so it's just going in here for something to write on. And then this here will pull out from the side, and it is a matchbook. So you open it up like that, and then it's got all of these, well, not that many, but all these little scrap papers in it. And then I just kind of stenciled the background. But I put it together by using two brads. So there's so many different ways to put these together. But because I did the brads, I was able to slide this down in here like that. And it slides right over top. And I thought that was a cool look right there. Here's just a collage. I made one of these daisies and some scrap paper, one of the blue butterflies. So I enjoy doing collages, as you can see. Now this is another piece of paper that somebody gave me in Happy Mail, and it has about flowers, and then this also had like a flower or something on it. And the caterpillars feed on a wide range of trees, shrubs, and plants. Oh, I didn't know that was on there. This is the other side of the Eco Dye paper from Wonders by Wink. Now this is my wraparound specimen, something or other I called it. But it's got a lot of this chicken wire. It looks like honeycomb on it. I did a whole bunch of stamping. And then over here I made windows for 4 different butterflies. And more stamping. And some more, some more of that paper. Here is another piece from a flower book I had. And I did some drawing on this one. I did some marker work to put the green in. And then I did some black marker to give it some dimension to that. There's some rub-ons. Moments of solitude with Mother Nature is sunshine to a soul. And then this is a nice bare area in case I ever want to journal on it. And then we have this, which is another one of the Sweet Ambrosia front cover pieces. This one has a bird on it, an Alice Cooper, and another one of those pockets. This one I just glued down. This is another one of those slide pieces, and I just glued it down here because it's got the colors that was on the back here. Now here is just a little flower under here, and this has flora as a definition. And a butterfly and some more rub-ons. This was the front cover of my Mente book for wings. And I thought, well, you know, it had a wood background. And then it had all these different bugs and bees and birds. And I thought, oh, that's perfect. So I just put that right in here with the ladybug paper. This is a rub-on from Hobby Lobby. And these were some pockets I made out of book page a while back to use some up. I did a lot of stuff with book page at one time. And here's another one. This little guy. And he turned out pretty cool. I tried to make it look like a slide. Yeah, I think it was supposed to be a slide. I'm looking at it, trying to figure it out. It did have some embossing on it. And I made a pocket down here. It's got a wasp of some type there. This has a little blue butterfly in it. And I did have it open, but I glued it shut. I didn't need any other extra place to put anything, so I just glued it shut. Here's another moth. Another one of those bugs. At first I was going to make this a low belly band, and I decided against it and just glued it down to be a pocket. So it's got another one of my little bugs from the map paper on here, and I used a little bit of that netting kind of thing from the Dollar Tree. Here is, I stamped this off on something. I think it was some of that paper that I used on the cover. But anyhow, as you can see, it's kind of rough looking. I didn't get a proper stamp, but that's okay. It was sort of grungy, and I like that. And then I just put this in here. That's that one about the caterpillars and little plants, but I made a pocket. And more of the grid tape is back behind here as well. Hope I don't pick up any more of it. I think I powdered it down, so it's not going to do nothing to me. The other side of the map paper, Minnesota. And I thought that kind of went okay. Blues and, you know. Now here was this piece I got from somewhere. I think it was a steampunk journal. And then somebody sent me something that had all these die cuts in it. It was about camping, and I thought, well, you know, they could be watching the birds if I pointed it that way. So that's what I did. And then here's some more eagles and ospreys from a book page somebody sent me. And we got more birds over here. So this is kind of the bird section. I did try to keep some of the areas together where the deer are all together and then the birds are all together. But it didn't always work out. So I have a little cluster down here that I glued onto this tag. And that made me an extended pocket. And then here's some more eggs and the finches. And I put this little die cut over here to kind of blend it in with this page with the berries on it. And we got signature 3. In every walk with nature, one receives far more than he seeks. John Blair, I think his name is. But this was a bear. The earth has music for those who listen. And I thought that would go good against the music paper. Which, if you see my tongue-in-cheek over here, this is the Nutcracker Suite. So here's the Nutcracker. And there's another one. I just couldn't resist it. Now this was from the front of the Forest Stamperia paper pad. And so I put this down here where that green edge was at the bottom. And I made it into a side tuck. So somebody had sent me these little butterflies that I was supposed to color. And I'm too lazy to do that. So I just stuck them in here like this. And then that's what I did. Here is, gosh, I think I have to pull it up to get it out because, did I glue it in there? Uh-oh. What is going on? No, something down here was catching. So this is something I did the other day with that extra collage paper that I had. I put a big butterfly there. And I put the black paper on the back. And this is one of those Tim Holtz package backgrounds is what that is. So let's see if I can get that back in here. I think it's on the tighter side, so I have to pull the page up to get that there. This is interesting. I made the slit further down the page on this one in case I had a shorter tag. And I have one of those blue butterflies and some more of that drywall tape. Somebody had given me this birch die cut out. So I put it on this piece of vellum. So I have this behind the piece of vellum. It's just some kind of a collage paper that I'd come up with. And I got a few little die cuts here of tree or bushes. And then I've got the definition for butterfly. Now over here, this little piece is kind of like a fold out. That you can tuck something up under there. This folds out. And then you have these two pieces here that could be written on. And it's just a piece of book page in the middle of it. And this is just like the piece of a paper from a paper pad. And actually, I think it's supposed to go like that. Yeah, that's how it's supposed to go. I think I've made these in the past, but who knows? I may need to make another batch in the future. And that goes in here because it had a little bit of blue here, and that's the only place I could think to put that. This is some greenery in the forest. Oh, I got the red hot poker plants. And this was from Chestita. She'd made these backgrounds, and this one was perfect for this book. Perfect. I backed it with this paper I had that had like water and pebbles on it. And I put a couple of fish on there. And then this was part of the Stamperia Forest pad as well with the fish. Really pretty. This was the back paper. I put a little bit of, the honeycomb thing on there. This was a little, I don't know what you call it, a coin pocket or what that is. But I kind of just decorated it up with washi tape and a washi stamp, washi strips, and a tag and a what do you call it, a quote. But I had this little moose, and he was kind of a play cartoony moose, so I went ahead and put him down in here so he wasn't visible. He goes with the theme, but he's kind of too cartoonish for me. And then we have this pocket. I have a moth up here. Oh, that's another one of those pockets, the mixed media ones that I made. But I've got this pocket full of all kinds of little goodies here. And a big bug paper. It's got longhorn beetles and all kinds of other stuff on that page. Now this is the one I made that was sort of like a leaf nest or leaf pocket. And it's on one of those braille papers as well. But the way I glued it shut, I've only really got a pocket on this side. Because I put that over top of this and it cut off part of the pocket. But it's just a bunch of trees. And it could be written on the back side of. There we go. And yeah. I had fun making that. It didn't quite turn out like I wanted it to, but oh well. Now I have an acorn stamp I got from somewhere, and I decided to put that there with this little squirrel. Another one of my front of my Sweet Ambrosia covers, and that goes in here. And this also has a side tuck on the front up here that has a little bee in there. This is a vellum, a clear vellum, kind of a pocket somebody sent me. So that's why I kind of decorated the front up, but you could still see down through there. See? You could see that in there. And then here is my butterfly dress. I made that one day. It was a long time ago. But it pulls out like that, and you could write all over the inside there. But that's my butterfly. Now here are some dragonflies. That's like a little cluster that I put down there with it. And I had a die cut, or not, a fussy cut that I put back here. I had to white the background here just so you could see it, because it was like blending in too much with the words. And then I did some mushrooms here on just a scrap of paper. This here, I forget where I got that, but I glued it down in a way that made it a pocket. So I was able to put this other specimen piece in here. This one's a little different. I have a tie on it, and this has like a little definition on it, and it looks like that. And it goes right in this pocket. Like that. I have Mr. Squirrel here. I have a washi stamp, and at some point in life, the world's beauty becomes enough. I love this over here. I made this look like it was a hole, and the bird had a house in this tree. This was, it was a 8x8 paper somebody sent me, maybe Tommy, and I didn't really know what to do with it, but I thought, you know, it looks like a flower. So I took all those little blingy things from the Dollar Tree, and I put on here in blues and greens. And then over here I did stamping. And then I put some more of that drywall tape and another moth to kind of give it an interesting look. There's a lot of circles and sacred geometry kind of stuff on here, so I thought that would go with these weird flowers really well. And then I just left the inside of this one like that because I really like that background. And more of that, and I did the same thing on this side. This has a little side tuck, and it's got a bird with a nest. It's just some kind of little piece I made up. This one's Believe in Yourself, and it has that one big tree I love. And over here, these pieces, I had sprayed some gold on a piece of dark cardstock. So I did some die cutting with that. I really like how that turns out because there's sort of gold hints over here that pulls that out. And, you know, it's got a little bit of gold on that bee and a little bit of gold in this background here. So I really liked how all that went together. I've got some more die cuts down here with more of that drywall tape and the other half of the dragonflies. Appreciating dragonflies. Now here was something I did on my own. I had, what was it? Oh, the Artie Maze. Those little round things like from the very beginning way up here. This little guy, on the bottom of her paper, she had 12 of them. So I punched all those out, and I had that little strip, and I thought, oh, that's a cool looking strip. I thought maybe I could use it for a stencil or something. And I said, no, I have enough of these little creatures here to make it into a like a specimen card. So that's what I did. I have an egg in there and a few little moths, a nest, and another egg and a bird. And then I just kind of decorated it up from there, and I really liked it. I think it's just the one side, yeah. So I made it into a tuck. This was a napkin that I wound around that piece of cardstock, so it kind of just extends. So if you have a napkin and you don't want to cut it in half or anything, just do something like that, and it decorate. Now this is a stencil over here, and I did some kind of funky work. I don't know what I was doing. I was playing. I think it was playing. And this has all kinds of different acorns and trees and berries and such. There's Mr. Fox again. I really like Mr. Fox. I did this, I thought it was a, what do you call it? I thought it was a dandelion, but I don't think it is. I think it's one of those allium bulbs or something. but I thought that went really well there on the white pages. Now over here, this piece was sticking out, and I was telling you I was thinking about gluing it down, so that's what I did. This is the other side of that braille paper, and I had this one little die cut on it, but I glued it right up here and right down here on this little piece. I had this vellum that I put on the white pages to give you a little bit of interest. And then I had an extra butterfly, and I just put on a piece of black, and I tucked it in there, because I've got some really dark over here as well. And then this one just has, I have the tree line in here quite often. It just fit. Here's the other side of the fish. So I have a few catfish on this side. And then I had this from the front cover. So I made it into another one of those. It wasn't a horizontal belly band. It was a vertical belly band. And this is just a piece of wood almost, basically. And then these were two of the fuzzy cuts. And I stuck them on the top and the bottom. The other side of Chestita's piece. Another plant. Now this one here, I didn't do any of the what do you call it? The vellum, or Velcro. I'll get it right here in a second. The Velcro I didn't add here because it was kind of being held down. And so those two pieces could be written on. This was some kind of a laser cut, kind of a thing that was in a frame in the basement for years. And so I finally just got it and put it in here on this piece of green. This is got some butterflies on it and some old that can be written. It's got some blue on it, so I thought, that's the perfect pull for that. And then this is the rest of the 12 inches. And I made a card for in here to be written on. And I just got some collage-y kind of stuff up there. Imagine every possibility. And then that goes like that. And those go over like that. And then we have this piece with a little tuck with the fox babies. And then that's it. And this is the back where I have the bugs. And then it's another kind of a tuck. Oh, we did not look to see where to put these other two cards. I did the first one and then I didn't even think about it after that. All right, let's see what we got in here real quick. That might be a place I can put them. And that might be a good place for this. Is the color? No, the colors don't work. Colors don't work. I don't know about that. You can't see the blue. You'd only see the orange. I got a blue jay out there trying to eat up all my goodies that I gave my little birds. Oh, what about right here for this one? Because that has all kinds of colors on that map, so that might work for that one. And, oh, I don't want it to be that close. Let's see. I'm holding my, no, I don't know about the colors there. Let's see about this one. Yeah, I don't mind that. That looks good. Okay. Well, I thank you for coming by to visit, all my subscribers and viewers. I hope you enjoyed this and got lots and lots of ideas. I hope you were able to see all of it too, because it's kind of on the hard side to see. But yes, I hope everybody has a great, great day, and I'll see you again soon with hopefully some mixed media. All right, bye-bye.